Hello again, I am Covenant Ironface and my partner TeamNO Chris for another lovely episode of Reaction Shot.
Lovely.
Yes, lovely. Tonight we had our first fan request for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I'm almost forgetting what we just saw.
Well, that should say a lot about it right there.
Not really. It was actually, pretty good as far as an action flick goes.
All right. Well, if that's what you have to say, let's take a breakdown. Of course, we look at the same things each time, and we want to start off with a wonderful storyline. Now, if you guys have seen the other Mission Impossible movies,
It's not much different.
It's not much different, but they're not sequential. Like the other stories don't really have anything to do with this one, except for it's the same characters.
Yeah, it's a ripoff of James Bond, except he's an American.
American Bond.
Yeah.
Anyways, in this case, the story is about, and our plot here is about another organization similar to the one that they work for, but it's supposed to be without a country. We'll call them Spectre. But no, in this case, they're referred to as a syndicate, which you've probably seen in the commercials. And the plot originally starts with they have to steal some stuff to stop the syndicate, which of course everything is, and the syndicate finds them out. And so we have a little spy war going on. It's spy versus spy style, really. Like, explosives and everything.
That. We should make a game called Spy War.
I think there is one.
Damn it.
Explosives and everything. It feels a lot like spy versus spy with the black spy and the white spy and the female gray spy in between.
Yep, pretty much. As far as character goes, I mean, the female character really doesn't have a lot going for her. I don't even remember what her name was. Oh, Ilsa. Ilsa, yes. I thought it was Elsa for half the movie. I'm like, is this Frozen? What the fuck?
Let it go.
Yeah, pretty much. Of course, Tom Cruise is, the main character, Ethan Hunt. And there was a lot more focus on the team than I was expecting, which I really, really did like. Because I like Tom Cruise, but not that much. It was a really good balance between him and Simon Pegg and Hawkeye. I can't remember his actual name. And the other computer guy from the previous movies. I can't remember his name either. They're so wonderful actors. But then there's also Alec Baldwin. And I'm not going to get into a lot from Alec Baldwin. Just that there needed to have been more Alec Baldwin. If you have Alec Baldwin in your movie, use him more!
I really think Alec Baldwin, because of that, he falls under the class of one of our sub-characters. He's there a bit, but he's not really important to the story. He's more of a figurehead. And he kind of ends up saving things in the end, I guess. Only at the very end of the movie, but...
only because they made him.
Only because they made him. But, he comes back and he helps them out, sort of. And he spends the first part of the movie against them and looking for them. And after something happens, he suddenly becomes their friend.
Well, you just ruined, half of his character development.
He doesn't have really any development. I mean, he starts out right off the bat looking for him.
I know, but we spent the whole movie hoping he was a bad guy, or at least I did.
We did. It would be very obvious. I hate to say that part since he already said it, but he's not a bad guy. He acts like a bad guy. It would have been obvious for him to be one of the bad guys, but he's not.
It was like Furious 7. They had the entire setup. 30 seconds of screen time, and you could have made it so much better.
There really is no other lesser, supporting cast to go with it, though. You have random henchmen, essentially. Only one of them has a name. They call him the Bone Doctor.
Yeah, there was another one that I noticed throughout the movie, and he literally has no line. He just stands there with a huge fucking beard. It's like, I am angry. I'm angry, but I can't say I'm angry.
The beard. So, Alec Baldwin feels like one of the only real important sub-characters besides your usual everyone in the background, random villains.
I completely forgot about the villain. Oh, wow, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
it's,
That's usually a
honestly,
main character.
like, your main villain feels like really not a very important character either. He drives...
he's very Spectre-ish. He's not supposed to be the front guy,
And
and that makes a lot of sense.
that does work, but he doesn't... I don't think he got enough screen time.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like he was developed enough. He did show up a lot and do his evilness,
Yeah.
you know, and
I'm being a bad guy.
imposing evil on whoever was in the situation, but he didn't have enough upfront time until they wanted, like, he was forced to. Which I guess fits for a villain role, but I really wish we got to see more of it from his perspective.
Yeah.
You know, watching over his minions, puppet strings and all.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but was it me, was it the screen, or was it the movie? It looked so grainy at times.
There were a couple of places, but I think it was kind of meant to be that way. Not necessarily like an older film, but like I saw it a couple of times through when they're looking through cameras and stuff. Either that or people are just bad at editing.
I think that may have been part of it, because at some points it's like, oh, wait, I'm watching a movie. I forgot. And they had some really good scenery. Like, they really used it well, as opposed to Furious 7, where it's like, hey, we're in this location, by the way, now let's do this stuff. When they were doing, car chases, motorcycles, they went through the area and they looked at it, and it's like, okay, this is awesome, keep doing this. And then like, okay, well, we're going to London. Okay, well, we see the obvious things of London, the Tower of London, Big Ben, the Eye. And then they went, and did more London-y things, and it looked like London. So, good job on that, but like I said, there were some really grainy parts, and I just couldn't tell why.
They even did some shots in some places that people probably know about but don't get to see much of. There was some Monaco, and it really was... Morocco. Sorry. Words. Words today, forgive me. There was some from Morocco that actually looked pretty good. I got to see a lot of good scenery there. And the Austrian Opera House.
Another complete ripoff of 007.
Although it was all basically internal shots, you barely got to see the outside of it. It really was well done. Felt like you were there. Huge opera house.
I now want to go see that opera that they were watching.
We should
that
go see
seemed like
that
a good
opera.
idea. Let's just hope we don't get shot during the middle of it.
I would have to say, overall, despite its flaws, it was a fairly good movie. As with most movies, I've got some problems with it that we've gone over. But it would be worth seeing once. So it's something to go check out. I mean, what do you think?
I can agree with that. It was definitely a good action movie. A lot of problems that I saw, but mostly just pet peeves of mine. I would like to have seen a little bit more, for a fifth movie of a series, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more making fun of ourselves, because that's generally where sequels need to go in order to keep them going.
Yeah.
But overall, it seemed to have kept everything going, and I really did sit down and enjoy it overall. So yeah, I would definitely agree. Go see this movie.
And one other thing, when we were talking at the theaters, that we wanted to point out, since someone in our group decided to stay for the entire credits,
there's nothing at
after
the end.
Credits.
Yes.
But anyways, guys, of course, as usual, if you like what you see, go ahead and like it down there below. If you want to follow us some more, go ahead and click subscribe.
And next week, we are going to see Fantastic Four if it comes out in the theater.
Yeah.
We were talking with the ticket agent, and they're like, well, wait until Tuesday when the schedule changes. I'm like, Tuesday? Like,
yeah, and we want to go see
2 days
Thursday.
before the movie? Wow, for Jurassic World, it was 2 months in advance. Now we've got 2 days. They're not expecting a lot from this movie, but
Neither
that's on
are
our
we.
schedule, so...
It'll either be next Thursday or Friday, we hope. So, we hope to see you then, as always.
See ya.